Hey, you guys, it's your girl Tina Wolf, bookwithtina.com. Okay, today I'm going to be bringing you, today is Tuesday, April 25th. I'm going to be reading the whole week for you today. Today we are going to focus on empowerment, enlightenment, awareness, positive victories that is going to happen this week. And then we're also going to talk about some challenges that you may face this week. We're going to do some oracle cards. Y'all know me. We're just going to go with the flow. We're going to see what comes up in this week. So let me go ahead and do my disclaimer. Disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. During the reading, I may understand, you may not. You may understand, I may not. We both may understand during the reading, or we both may not understand during the reading. I'm going to ask that you respect my perspective, and I will also respect your perspective as well. If the information that you're receiving is different from the information I'm providing, it's quite all right. Please share the message because it may be for me or someone else. Please do not use these readings as a form of therapy or advice. You've been blessed with the gift of discernment, so take the information you need and throw the rest away. First, let's talk about victories. And we're going to go with the Archangel Raphael deck this morning. A lot of times, we spend a lot of time focusing on the challenges, which is quite all right. And I'm okay with focusing on the challenges. But right now, I want to focus on the victories first, because some of y'all, including me, some of y'all, we need to have some positive influence coming. Now, last week we talked about run, Forest, run, right? For those people that are like, how do I influence people, right? How do I inspire people? And the way you do that is by simply being yourself. That is how you do that. You simply be yourself. And some people say, well, what if somebody doesn't like myself? Well, it's okay if somebody doesn't like yourself, because guess what? There are other people that are going to like you. Claim the victory of friendships, claim the victory of family, romantic partners, or if you're single, you don't have one, that when you do find one, you're going to connect and there's not going to be any problems. And then, peace and calm on the work site, even if you work for yourself, right? So let's talk about the victories that are going to happen this week. So let's see what we got here for this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm gonna put 1, 6, 7. I'm gonna put these two over there for later. Okay. So for the victory that you are working on, if there is a particular situation that you've been praying, meditating, and asking on, please remember that there are things going on behind the scenes. Okay, so here we go. Here's how you're going to know, right, that your victory is coming. Number 1, you're going to have increased energy. It's just that simple. The next way this says, upside down. Upside down to me means pay very close attention, right? So it says leave a stressful situation behind. That is exactly how you're going to know, hello, that your victory is being won, because you are making a decision to say, you know what, I'm going to increase my value. I am going to understand my worthiness by moving away from this situation and removing any stressful negativity in my life. This is how you're going to do the victory. Let's talk about the word value for just a moment, right? Now, I worked on this word a whole lot, and sometimes people will say, I know my value. And then what comes exactly behind that when they say, I know my value? What's the next thing they say? I know my worth, right? But in the same conversation, and with the energy that is being put off with these two words, value and worth, it's not even that you know it sometimes. It's like you're trying to convince somebody that you know your value, and convince somebody that you know your worth. And if you're trying to convince somebody, then it does not work. And when we talk about victories, victories don't have to be convinced, right? So what is value, right? I know what value is to me. To me, value is a feeling of appreciation, right? That's what it is to me. That's how I learned what value is. When someone says, Tina, I value you as a friend, what they're saying to me is, I appreciate you, right, as a friend. Now, the next word, worth, right? Because that one was kind of challenging to me. And I know how worth may feel to some, right? And to me, worth feels also like appreciation, but at a deeper level. I was like, Tina, other than saying appreciation for the word worth, what else can you say to describe what worth is to a person who doesn't really understand what that means, right? Because you already said value means to appreciate, right? Because people are like, you can't put a value on our friendship. You can't put a value on something, right? You can't put appreciation on there because there's not a word big enough unless you're using supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, right? Which is my favorite word. But worth, what does worth mean? Worth means useful. It means respected and appreciated. I am worth something. I am useful, I'm respected, and I'm appreciated for who I am, right? That is the worth. And if that doesn't make sense to some of y'all, it's okay. Look at it this way. If you've ever been a person who said, I know my worth, what you're saying in my definition is, I know that I am useful and I am respected and I'm also appreciated. And when you feel that way, then it shouldn't come out angry. It should simply be confident. I know my worth. I know my usefulness. I know I'm respected and I know I'm appreciated. And if you're having a hard time feeling the worth but saying it, please think about the energy and the way you're saying this. I know my worth. To me, that's saying I'm trying to convince you that I am useful and respected and appreciated. You should never have to convince. And I'm saying this over and over because I need some of you to understand that when your victory is coming and when you're in the process of your victory, it does not feel like it doesn't feel like convincing, and it does not feel like confusion. So let's go to the next one. It says, children, dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me to help children, right? So sometimes helping children is just helping that, but sometimes it's helping people that are on a level and a pathway of growing and they need to grow. And the way you know that your victory is coming is because somebody or people are observing and noticing your growth and they want to be inspired by you. And so what do? They come to you to grow. That's what this means for children, because some people are going to be, I don't want to say underneath, but for lack of a better word, I'm going to say they're on the path of getting ready to have an experience that you have already been through. How about I'll say it that way, right? And you have the wisdom because now you have the experience to go back. Now, if you feel like you are in the child phase and maybe you feel like you're on a path and you're like, okay, I know I'm going the right way, or I feel like I'm going the right way, or I need a little bit of help of guidance to make sure I am on the right path. And you need somebody that has the wisdom, somebody that has been on that path. Of course, I got you. Bookwithtina.com. You can book your appointment and I got you, right? But also look at the people that are around you that are wisdom givers, right? Those are the people that you want to be around, are the wisdom givers. You don't want to sit up and be around people that are the negative Nancy's, or the people that are trying to edge on and push you towards, you need to do this, and the tit for tats and the arguments and bringing and welcoming of miscommunications into your life. That's not what you want, right? So make sure you're around the right people. All right, the next card's coming in upside down. For your victories, it says, give us your cares. Make sure that in the process of your victories that you are not worrying. What is worrying? Worrying is not knowing the outcome and trying to figure out what the outcome is over and over again. And because you don't know what the outcome is, you don't know how to let it go. This is your reminder during your victory. In order for you to focus on the things that you want, you must give your cares over to whatever your belief system is, whether it is God, whether it is yourself, whether it is Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, whatever. your belief system is, Jehovah Witness, whatever your belief system is, believing in yourself, whatever it is, remember to hand those cares over. All right. And the last card with your victory is the answer is yes. And it says down at the bottom, dear Archangel Raphael, please help me trust my feelings as the accurate barometer of truth. In order to receive your victory, you have to trust yourself on the decision-making process. And I'm gonna leave that just like that. Now, for those of you that are having a hard time, you're like, man, Tina, I'm going through the storm and I can't see the forest for the trees. I can't see because all the rain and the shelter is coming down. That's what this next batch is for. While you're going through the challenge of your victory, this is what's going to happen. Remember, this is coming in upside down. Prayer works. What is prayer? Prayer to me is focusing on asking for what you want, or some people call it meditating. Same thing, focusing on what it is that you want and making sure you're doing what the first batch said, giving over your cares, right? That was one thing it said. Remembering that if you want a yes, you have to trust yourself, the answers, right? And then remember to get wisdom from people that have gone on the journey that you have been on, and that they are not enablers keeping you right where you need to be, because you got those kind of people. Make sure you're leaving that stressful situation behind. And when you do that, you're going to feel increased energy. So make sure the things that you're praying for, that you are following through. All right. Make sure you're following through and taking the action and trusting yourself to move forward. The next one is laughter is the best medicine. I laugh so much throughout the day that whenever I go places, people are like, I know your laugh. Even if they don't laugh, don't know me personally. I could be walking in a store because I'm in a small town. So whenever I'm going to the stores or I'm shopping or I'm doing whatever, if I'm on the phone and I start laughing, or I'm talking to another person, a passerby, right? I start laughing and it is infectious. And then when people hear me throughout the store, they're like, oh, by the time I get up to the register, they're like, oh, I already knew you were here because I could hear your laugh, right? What are you laughing about today? That you should be laughing about something. And if you're not laughing about something, then, it's okay. I'm going to put these cards to the side. Now, let's do a little work on self-love today. Let's do a little bit of work on self-love. So for self-love today, this is what I got. Now that we've already know that your victory is coming, we've talked about the victory, how you're going to face challenges, right? Let's just talk about a little me time, because you need a little bit of me time today. That's you need a little bit of me time. I feel a lot of scheduling. Sometimes you have to move and shift things around. Sometimes things don't always go according to plan. And guess what? That's okay. If something has to wait, it's okay for something to wait. No is a complete sentence. No response is a response. Like, if people don't understand what you're saying, remember, it is not your job to convince them of your situation. It's not your job to convince them of who they are. It's your job to just be who you are. You don't have to tell the whole wide world over and over again to several different people, 500 different thousand ways, right, that you're having a hard time and that you need time. Because all that time you're spending telling people I need time, and you're not giving yourself time, that 2 hours on the phone, you talking about, man, my life is hard and I'm struggling, right? That is indicative of you. That is the most. Tell me you don't know how to give yourself time while you giving your time away with your ass on that phone, or with you being around people that are enabling and who are like, yeah, I know that's right. Yeah, we struggling. That's not what we want. So let's talk about this me time. Let's see what the cards have to say about giving yourself me time, and stop making excuses, right? So I got two things here. All right. So in order to give yourself me time, let's see what we got. Well, the card is coming upside down. So it says calling in your soulmate. So for me, in order to call in your soulmate is a person, place, thing, or situation that is going to help you get through the experience of, I need to make some me time and I just don't know how to do it. That could be prayer. That could be meditation. That could be asking a family, friend, coworker, or a romantic mate what to do or how to get that. But it does not mean sitting there for hours and hours repeating over and over to 500 people how your life is not where it needs to be. If you need help and you're ready to get out of this enabling behavior and the people that are enabling you to be this way, call in the soulmate. What do I need to do to move forward? The next way, take care of yourself. This card's also coming in upside down. Past life relationship, right? So if you're having a hard time giving yourself time and you're like, I'm sorry, Tina, but this thing is playing over and over and over and over again in my head, look into the past, not to relive, but to rewatch and to replay so that you can get a better sense. Take that hawk's eye view, right? Go up further, meaning step away, step back, so you can see what was really going on in the situation that is bothering you, the reason why you keep replaying it over and over in your head. And some people say, Tina, that's not a choice. I can't make it stop. Well, at least if you are going to replay it and rewatch it in your head over and over, at least replay it and rewatch it and say, what could I have done differently? And remember, we're not ever going to be talking about by force, things that happen to you by force. We're going to be talking about things that happen to you by choice. That's what we're going to be talking about. So looking into the past just means looking into the situation that you were in that's causing you to replay this memory over and over again. You do have the ability to move forward with that. Now, if you need help, again, I got you. We can do a let go session. We go with bookwithtina.com, and I'm going to help you walk through that process. I'm going to bring things forward and give you a new perspective so that you can heal that part. Now, is it going to be healed all in one day? No. And if you be like, Tina, I need more help than that. I need a program. I need 30 days. I got you, right? But let's get back to focusing on this timeline. If you look into your past, remember, we are not reliving the past. We are re-watching and replaying, just like with a movie, right? We're not going to relive. Okay. The next thing on the road and the path to me time, right? It says, is it safe for you to love, right? First of all, you got to know what your definition of love is. And love looks different to everybody because sometimes cussing each other out is love, right? Sometimes to some people, giving each other flowers is love. Telling people that you appreciate them is love. Sometimes trying to control people is your form of love, right? You have to think about what love is to you. And do you feel safe with the people that are in your space that are saying that they love you, but they are giving you the opposite response? I want you to pay attention. A good friend of mine taught me that insecurity means your inside alarm is going off. That's what that means, right? Insecurity doesn't mean that you are uncertain. It doesn't mean that you are lowering yourself, right? It means that your inside security alarm is going off and something is telling you that something is not right. And something is bringing confusion into your space. And people will say, you're being insecure, and they will affirm that for you. And so why would somebody affirm for you that you are not certain of yourself? It goes back to the earlier deck where it said you have to trust yourself. You have to trust those decisions. And that was in the yes card, right? So for those of you that need to see the yes card, let me pull that back out. That's probably the reason why I left it out. It's the yes card, right? If you are trusting yourself and something is giving you the opposite response, it is not love by your definition. You are hereby resisting it. Stop trying to force yourself into that space of something that is already making you feel uncomfortable. You'll know it's safe to love because your inside security alarm is not going to be going off. It's not going to be going bananas, right? Next card, right? Let your friends help you. Remember, we already talked about earlier, right? So making this time for yourself, what do you need to do when you're making this time for yourself? You need to let your friends help you. And friends could be you praying, meditating, asking from your belief system. It could be an actual friend. It could be your family member. It could be a co-worker. It could be a passerby. Sometimes, have you ever had somebody that just came into your life for a brief second, maybe in the grocery store? You're walking down the street, somebody says, you look good. Or somebody says, I just feel like I need to tell you this real quick. Is it okay if I tell you? And they tell you, that is a soulmate, that is a passerby, right? Because a soulmate is not your romantic forever love. It can be, but it's a person, place, thing, or situation that is helping you to progressively move forward in your life, right? So let people help you, be open to receiving. The next one is pay attention to the red flags. When you're taking your me time, you're taking time to yourself, pay attention to the flags of the things that are causing you to not be able to take time for yourself. Sometimes it's people, and that is going to be one of the easiest things. Some people are like, Tina, it's not easy to get rid of people that are wasting your time, but sometimes it is. When you sit back, when you take this me time and you relax and you say, you know what? Let me take a look at the situation so I can release the situation during this me time, because this is about you. This is about what you want. This is about what you desire, right? So what do? You pay attention to the red flag. Okay, this is what's going on. When I look into the past life, which we talked about, right? When we look into the past life situation, this person, place, thing, or situation is not helping me to feel safe in this environment. So I need to call on my soulmate to help me through this situation during this me time. But you'll never be able to get that me time if you're constantly focusing on reliving the situation over and over. So let's talk about, here go two things. If you are having a hard time creating me time for yourself, two things. Remember, one, you deserve love, right? And the greatest love of all, as Whitney Houston would say, I wish I could sing, but the greatest love of all that you deserve to have is for yourself first. You have to have that love for yourself first and know how you feel, so that when other people come into your space, they should be matching what you have. And if they are not matching and you have a conversation and it's still not matching, it's not your job to convince them of what love is and how teach them about how you love. They should be open and they should be willing to be able to have this experience with you of being mutual, right? And being synergistic. Is that the word? Synergistic, right? It's supposed to be like in alignment. Let me say that, be in alignment. And if you're having a hard time, card that's coming in upside down is flirt, right? If you're being happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, you're being happy, happy, joy, joy around people, and those people are not being that back, and you're having a hard time, go back to what we just discussed about how to give yourself me time. All right. All right. And in closing, I'm going to close it out with Kuan Yin. We're going to see what Kuan Yin has to say about this week. All right. Let's get this. For the week. Oops, excuse me. For the week. Not W-E-A-K, but for the week, W-E-E-K. But you know what? Maybe this is for some people that are weak, W-E-A-K. And if that is, then let's go with this. Let's say. It says, say, of my own free will. Woo, we're going to just start off like that. Say, of my own free will, I release all aspects of my past that now need to end according to divine grace. I forgive you. I forgive myself. Go in peace. This is completed now under the karmic grace and divine intervention of Kuan Yin, who loves unconditionally. Nothing is more powerful than love, and I permit unconditional love to have its way in my life now. So be it. Turn and face the east. Or if you are uncertain of direction, you may wish to turn to your right side. Imagine you are staring deep into night just before the breaking of dawn. Feel your feet on the ground and be in your body. Say, of my own free will, I ask for grace available to me to bless and protect me as I await the dawn. May I be held in the field of grace and move towards new life at the perfect time and in the perfect way, according to divine mercy and compassion of the Divine Mother. I accept all such blessings with gratitude. I know that I am given this journey because I am ready, willing, and capable to take it. Even if it doesn't always feel that way, I trust myself and I trust in the journey of my life path and the love that is calling me forwards. So be it. Then turn to face the front and be here now. Feel your feet on the floor and say, I choose to be in this moment. I trust I will be guided or instinctively know when it is time to move or set a boundary. I trust completely in the grace of protection and assistance that is with me now and blesses me and my life completely. Thank you, and so be it. Put your hands in prayer and bow your head. You have finished your healing process. That is the closeout. That was a great way to summarize everything. So there you guys go. Namaste. Namyoho Renge Kyo. Amen. Amen. Ashe. Anything that I have missed, make sure that you are working on receiving your victory today, and any challenge that you are facing, go back, rewind that last part, and give yourself a free will to release experiences that are no longer serving your higher purpose, and be ready to receive what is due you. We are hereby removing and requesting to remove procrastination, right? Which is the delay of things that are due you. We hereby give up control, right? We hereby give up trying to convince people that we have the power, right, to overcome them and tell them what to do, right? We release that power of control, because true control is the ability to be able to inspire others. That's what it is. You want to control somebody, then influence them and inspire them by being yourself. Now, if you're being yourself and you're drawing in the wrong people, let's get to releasing. Let's learn these lessons. Let's create these boundaries so we can move forward. I love you guys. Make sure that you're complimenting at least 10 people a day, because you never know whose life you can change. You never know whose vibration you can raise up. And you never know what door of opportunity you can open up by simply paying a compliment. Be great. Be wonderful. Book your appointments at bookwithtina.com. I love you guys, and I'll see you next Tuesday.